Yep. Here we are, and here he comes back, changed his shirt. Looks like he came straight out of prison. Nice. Seems that is the kind
Oh,
of prison shirt you have.
man, I wanted to take a sip of
It's
Pepsi and then just open it up with boom, volcano.
shh. Don't don't. The p word. Don't say it.
Okay, okay, I know, I know,
You
I know.
have yeah. Although I don't know if they're the same brand. Could be possible
Might be.
actually. I don't know.
Anyway, though, sorry, just
Yeah.
wanted to take a drink, but I guess I'm not gonna drink.
A
I
great
shouldn't.
drink. Lovely. No, but
I mean, that's a lesson for me. I should have Mountain Dew instead of anything else, you know?
wow, Mountain Dew is so convenient that you're coming up with it, man. To get back to it, is it hot right now in Poland? Is it hot?
It is quite hot, yeah. I mean, today it's a little bit windy, so it's a little bit colder than usually. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yesterday it was, oh my goodness, it was hard to sit through the whole group.
Mm.
But I made it, and I'm quite sure I'm gonna make it again. But we have an important info for all of you guys out there. Arctic versus UX is gonna be playing right now. We are switching the matches. Actually, playing Ducks versus Pugstars will be a little bit later, of course, after this one.
Yeah, as far as I know, that is no big deal for us. I mean, we're going to see anyway who will play next for that decider match. And yeah, playing Ducks will be coming up next then at 19 CT. So don't worry, we're going to have a deciding match, a really important one. Will the Germans actually get out of the entire tournament right now, or will they advance? Same for Arctic, of course. I mean, they did a quite a right job there. They did their best on Inferno. Once more, I think map pick is going to make it, because we have seen Rectic on CT side still isn't that strong as we could wish it would be.
And right now, like yesterday, we had a situation where from the losers brackets, you had to play 3 matches in a row. And with these matches swapped around, there's a possibility a team is not going to have to play these 3 matches. So, for instance, let's say Arctic, for no reason, just I'm not saying that Arctic will actually win it, but let's say Arctic win now.
You're biased, all
They're
right?
gonna get a little bit of a break. Playing Ducks, if they go through the finals, and then Pug starts, there is a possibility they will have to play 3 matches in a row. But if they lose
Yeah.
against Arctic, then Arctic will have a little bit of a break between their match, and they're gonna have to play 2 in a row only. So if the team from the winners match isn't gonna go through the losers brackets to the finals, but instead the losers brackets team is gonna make it, then there's not gonna be 3 matches in a row for that one team. But yeah, that's just a little bit of a like fun fact.
Yeah, great fun fact about that. We're just waiting for it to go, starting in a second. Right now, if you don't know what is actually up, we're at ELC or Legend Series number 2, and I know Legend Series number 1, season 2. It's always getting mixed up in my head. But anyway, great thing about it is though that the teams that are advancing throughout those 4 groups, the best one will always go to the landfalls in Hamburg, and that will be very, very interesting to see. I mean, they're in Seek, how it's exactly called.
Zeke.
That will be really interesting. Yeah, Seek. It is a really inconvenient name for a German city if we go to history. I mean, yeah,
Really?
don't go into.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
really.
I just caught it now.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm more like talking about the S sounding more like Z in German. So it's not like necessarily
yeah, it's
seek, but
Seek.
it's
Yeah, Seek.
hmm
Z. Um. So yeah, that is no biggie, I guess. But anyway, we're excited to see those guys there. I'm really, really interested to see what is going to happen in Hamburg, because land is always differently. The environment when you see each other there on the stage and you need to play offline, you're not home, you have to get adapted to it. That is where it gets interesting.
And as I already mentioned yesterday, I don't think I said that today yet. We get to see 4 teams in the land finals this time. So there's going to be a lot more stuff happening, and it's not just going to be a best of 5 match with the possibility of it ending very quickly. We're going to get to see much more action, and we're going to get to meet more of these players definitely. So it's cool in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, it really is cool. I mean, getting that, the special thing about that environment there is it's very, very exclusive. It doesn't feel like a big venue. You're scattered around with 1 million people, and you just have to, be in line and get serviced like a horrible person. It's actually great. It's actually great because it's very family-like, very, very friendly environment. And you also have great entertainment there besides only CS. I mean, you have the great VR center there in Hamburg. They're having you have a good amount of food. You can also play by your own. So I mean, going there is pretty much one of the best decisions.
Yeah, right now. Oh, I'm wondering about that losers match. I'm more wondering about the winners match though, because I'm just thinking that maybe Pugstars will be able to surprise a little bit more. But what right here is gonna happen is that we're actually gonna get to see how UX deal with RCTIC, and possibly it was like uncomfortable for them to play against the Pugstars because they are Pug. Instead of like a constructed team, so maybe it's gonna be easier for UX to play against RCTIC, who actually, if they're going for some strats, they're gonna be like built-up strats that they train for a lot of time. And what I'm actually aiming at is that there's gonna be more sense to it all. It's gonna have a little bit of depth. And while playing against Pugstars might have been like, what the hell are they doing? Some random stuff. They're getting some good headshots, and they're annoyed that they're losing against something like that.
You know it from matchmaking yourself. I mean, when you see players and you're thinking, why, how, what shall I do against them? Because it makes no sense in your head, but they're still getting you for that reason. That is the horrible thing. And I can actually understand when people do that. I can understand when people get crazy. And this is where this sometimes happens. Teams just go ham, do something unusual, and it messes with your brain. And then it worked, as we've seen Pugstars playing it like a Pug, playing it like, okay, we just went ready there and challenge me, just say, okay, 5v5, doesn't matter. And it worked. And it insanely worked well. 16-12. So at the end with the Deagles, it was more humiliation than really a match where you could say, oh God, but that's how it is. That's how it is. And we're going to find out in just a bit how it will go with RCTIC versus UX. Do you think that UX will perform with a quite alright scoreline if they can seriously make it like against Pugstars, or will RCTIC just run them over?
Not sure really what to say. I'm expecting RCTIC to win this match, but I'm not going to say that they're going to win for sure. And there's a big possibility that we'll get to see a little bit closer of a match again. And I feel like UX deserve to get something done in this tournament. After all, like in the League of Legends Legend Series, we had Italian teams who all ended up in the last places in their groups. In here, I also would like some German teams to do something actually in here. So we've got 3 German teams in the lineup. Hopefully at least one of them is going to show up for the sake of it, like being the German tournament. So hopefully you're going to have like your representative on the LAN tournament.
Yeah. And then I got to play translator, but yeah, no. Basically, I find it really cool if we've mentioned it very often. Plant key all the way. No other German team has a really big chance to even get there as out of the entire tournament as a victor, out of the entire LAN final as a victor, because they're so strong. They're so strong. They can really show what they can do. So I personally see a great option. I see a great possibility from them to say, okay, let's get into this. Let's get it done.
So right now, just waiting for all the players to get into the server, and we'll be hopping into RCTIC versus UX. That's surely another chance for RCTIC, and I'm thinking that when they get into the finals of this group, there's a possibility they can make it. Because at the end of the day, Playing Ducks, they had some situations that could not happen another time. You know, when Kalinka was getting these triple kills so often, he might not have as much luck the next time they face off against RCTIC, and then we might have a completely different game. So I feel like there's still a chance for them to pick themselves back up into the competition. And as for UX, I really think they're not going to win this match, unfortunately. So not much that I can say.
Remember yesterday. Remember Reason versus Isuba. When Reason took them down something 16-7 on Cobblestone, and then Isuba just the other one. Cash, easy, 16-4, takedown, bye-bye UK scene, see you next time. So that was really a great work we have seen from them. And there, as you mentioned, the second matches, you might be not good in the first one, but afterwards you could step up. Let's see if that will happen, because I can imagine RCTIC getting through this. I have that feeling. I just don't. My heart says give those unknown kind of guys from UX less known. Let's say less known guys a chance. Give them a good possibility. But I have to be real. I really have to be realistic. This will be Arctic. God damn it, Arctic logically.
Oh yeah, all right. So hopefully we'll get to see an interesting one though, and UX will not go down without a fight indeed. And yeah, there is also a possibility of them doing that. But then at the end of Mirage, it kind of got sloppy. I mean, the mistakes that they did, some of them were really horrible. And I feel like maybe under the pressure, they break a little bit too much. So that could be their problem.
Summing it up pretty well, because that should never really be the case. That pressure gets you down. And if pressure gets you down, how will you perform on LAN? This is the real question. There it gets really problematic. There it gets really even different. You don't have your home comfortable environment where you have your great chairs and everything working out fine. You have a total different setup, and you have a total different style to play with. So we're going to find it out very soon. We're going to find out how this will work out in the end for the teams at LAN. If you don't know where the LAN is and what is actually happening, underneath the stream, you'll find all the infos about the ELC LAN. You'll find all the infos about ELC in general. So feel free to hit that up as soon as possible, because I think going there, we've mentioned very often, we're repeating ourselves, but go there, have fun. It's not too expensive. It's a great place to live. Place to go. Hamburg is also a great place to live, actually.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, it looks like a real great city. I didn't really get to sightsee too much, but overall on my cab drives, I definitely enjoyed the city.
We can do that next time. I can rent myself a car when I'm over there, or get myself. There's a great car sharing thing, and it's also in Hamburg. So we make a drive around through Hamburg next time. I promise we can make that. I'm not quite sure if you like my driving style. But yeah, don't worry. I got you somehow, I guess.
Well, now that you said that, that's actually gonna make me worry, but okay. Let's say it's gonna be fine.
You're going to be fine. I'm going to a rally on Saturday, a car rally, the things where they drive on dirt tracks. So, I hope you feel comfortable now. I hope you feel good about that. So please.
Okay, so like in a rally, you always have a navigator as your passenger.
I'm a navigator.
So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you're the navigator, and you're saying that you can't drive. Okay.
I can't drive. I can't. No. What? No. I never said. You're mixing things up. I said I'm capable. I would say I'm capable of driving. I did an accident once in my life. It was nothing major. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing, I guess. Like with casting, okay. I know what I'm doing, right? I never made casting accidents, I think. No, I don't think so. But we know our map. We know our map finally. And I'm really excited to see Cash at this moment. And there was a German caster or GOP B saying this. If a German team can't play Cash, they are not German. And there we might see. Will the Germans make it possible, or won't they? Because that should be not home soil directly, but definitely a possibility to take this home very easily.
Okay. So, Cash, you say it should be UX feeling quite comfortable on that map, but I also believe that Arctic will not be having as many problems out there. But it's not a map that really suits their name. I don't think we've got, we would have to be playing Office in order to actually fit their name out there. If you want a snowy
There's
Arctic
actually a new
map.
one. In the new operation, There's Austria. And that is full snow. So no competitive map, unfortunately. Imagine a tournament just with those maps. That would be actually quite interesting. A tournament with just operation maps.
And I feel like there's a possibility to make one like that. Maybe somebody will come up with an idea like this, and maybe it's going to be ELC gaming. Yeah. Maybe the next bot championship on the operation maps.
Yeah, it would be cool actually to think about it. I mean, we also got the classic hostage maps like Agency back. I don't know if you ever played Agency, but I love that one. But anyway, we're getting into this game in a second. I know you're no number prediction guy. You don't like that, but give me something. Just something.
As I mentioned, I would love to see this match being a little bit close, and I feel like there's a lot of potential in it to be very similar in terms of the scoreline as to Pugstars versus UX. So I'm gonna go with 16-11 for Arctic.
16-11 for Arctic, and we're going to find out if that is going to be the case at ELC Legends Series 1 Season 2 with all the great teams, 16 that are here in the tournament. One already qualified for the lands. It's actually Isu at a Czech-Slovakian mix, and 3 more are to go throughout the next days till Friday. So don't worry, you'll be covered with a lot of CSGO matches, a lot of best of ones at so many different maps. So I think excitement and entertainment throughout the week, there will be no lack in that.
Definitely, and that's something you can take for granted. Definitely, these matches are fun to watch, and we get some unexpected outcomes. Not everything goes as planned. We get to see eSubo losing their first match, which completely breaks our hopes for this team. But at the end of the day, them coming out as first. So TTFU also, I think they failed a little bit at this tournament. But maybe they can play it out a little bit better next time, after all. And what's interesting, we don't get to see as many teams from the first Legend series in here. eSubo are taking part right there, and that's a team that we do see. But other than that, I think it might
Planet
be
Key.
it. Oh, Planet Key. Yeah,
Key.
that's true. That's true, of course.
And did Playing Ducks not also participate?
Yeah, with their own,
with
Playing
a little
Ducks.
bit of a Playing Ducks, right?
So we've got 3 out of 16 teams are from the previous tournament where we had 8 teams. So it's not even 50%, but actually it's more than I initially thought.
Yeah, I mean, Willie already screaming at you there to say, how can you forget about Playing Ducks? Yes, they have made a lot of roster changes there. We're going to find out how they will play once more. And
but nobody from the grand finals of the first Legend series is playing here. We don't have Red Reserve, we don't have Tricked that were supposed to be there, and we don't have Legends that played instead of Tricked.
Yeah, and it all made it through. I mean, those teams are just really great to see, and in a bit we're getting into it. We see that we should be just about good to go. One is missing though. The Scandinavian side, the Finns, are just waiting for one of their players.
Yep, but we already have Tori, we already have Jona. We're waiting for the young Alu, as you tend to say, or junior.
The young Alu, right? Junior Alu. I think he's Junior Alu. He's maybe his little brother or something, and we don't know about it. But isn't every Finnish player pretty much a pupil of Alu? It just feels like it, you know. I just have that feeling.
I don't know. I never actually thought about it that way. I've never really made the big connection, but then you're the guy that came up with the Rectic name, so you've got seriously some cool ideas there. There we go.
But I would actually love to see the Finns on LAN, because I don't know if you watch, for example, Formula 1 or so, because there's one guy called Kimi Räikkönen, and he never smiles. And Finns in general pretty much never smile. So seeing them on LAN and being the victor of the LAN would be just like, yeah, we won the LAN. It was a great experience, and then they're going home. They got the trophy, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. That is how Finns are, stereotypically speaking, logically.
Okay, yeah, so that would be like the perfect team to see on the LAN. Like they get introduced, like they are doing the interview with the perfect poker face and not reacting to anything at all. Interesting.
Yeah, this is classic. This is classic Finns. But right now, we're getting into the knife round. It seems like all are connected. Yes, that is the case. Match number 3, Arctic versus UX. Whoever loses this is out of the Legend series. So let's take a look. Who will make it?
Yep, the knife round. It's not been such a big decider in the previous matches. UX were able to take it, and they also took the first pistol, but they did not win against Pugstars. So finally, that curse is broken. So possibly we cannot base our assumptions on solely the knife round anymore. But UX do not seem to be doing so well out here, but there is a possibility for Adair to get a triple kill. No problem, even a quad kill because he got a kill earlier. But left in a 1v3, he gets 3 people down. Wow.
The Knife Legend himself. But anyway, we're seeing, and we're starting up. Sides are alright. UX Gaming now start on the CT, and that defense needs to be rock solid if they want to take down RCTIC one by one.
For sure. It's not going to be an easy match for either of the teams, but we are kicking off, and let's see with our own eyes if indeed RCTIC are going to be the favorites right here. Nevis, right off the bat, he's going to get hit in the head, and he's already not so healthy, down to 9. A little bit of a problem. Sastis, he's got a smoke, but it's just a single smoke. We're not going to have the set play on bomb site A or something like that, but they're running in with some headshots. Tori with a double. Yalu's also going to get a double for himself, and all that's left is Sinks rotating over from bomb site B, walking straight into Tori's crosshair, and we'll be trying to battle it out, but it's already consuming so much time that I don't think he's going to get a good shot at retaking the site at all.
No, you're pretty much summing it up quite well as we see Sinks on his own armor. Oh, finds one. That is Junior Alu getting taken down, and Sinks. Oh, that grenade. That grenade is interesting. Puts Jonah in a bad position, but Sadis finished off 9mm to the head of Sinks. 1-0 for RCTIC. That is the start they're looking for.
And right now, they're going to get some rifles for themselves. And UX, of course, on the CT side, they're not going to surprise with a quick full buy or something. So there is no risk for RCTIC that they will have to face off against the rifles with SMGs all over the place, which has been a little bit of a problem in the first match of the day.
But those Steagles now from UX could find something. The home soil of Germans, how some people say, are getting really good. Brack and Sings with 2 beautiful shots with the deagle to the head of some Finns, and that puts him in a good situation. The man advantage exists, and now you can make some work with those pistols in hand. But Saga comes in, takes some advantage with that UMP, finds the first one onto the first entry fragger off the German side. Oh no, and that looks like it could just go downhill, but a free AK for Golden.
And he was always able to do a lot of damage, but this time it's not going to work that way. Yalu is there to put him down. Nevis and Breg. 2v2. The bomb is already planted, and it doesn't necessarily look like so much of a retake because they were already in these positions, but they were just not able to prevent the bomb plant from happening. Breg is going to get the kill on Yalu, and Nevis to finish off Saga. That deagle was already down, so that maybe doubts a little bit, but here we are. Quite a swift one. And the bomb will, of course, get defused. So RCTIC, they win the pistol, but they're not able to hold onto it at all. And I was talking about how they're going to have a little bit of space for breathing for themselves, because the CTs won't have any additional money because they cannot plant the bomb or something like that. But they can win the round. It's going to be much easier.
I mean, the buy onto both the teams is just very, very squishy, but the majority of UX can afford themselves some rifles, getting up with the M4 and with that AK, and RCTIC just see the only consequence out of this. Go A as soon as possible, make something great out of this round. And as I see Nevis right now, the skin perfectly fits the colors of UX. That is a great design choice from him at this moment. But let's see, Max Spam behind the door, opens it, welcome to my house, but no, Golden finds one. Nevis with that MP7, yeah, that is an easy takedown right now for the German side.
Well, the blue is not as dark, but definitely the future for now is dark for RCTIC Esports. They probably did not expect to find themselves in a place like this after winning the pistol. Not only Yona remains, he's waiting in the squeaky doors. They don't yet know where he is, with Nevis thinking that he might have been sitting in one of the smokes or something like that, but he finally spot him out. And even though he doesn't even lose a single point of health, I cannot actually see him doing anything anymore.
Nope. What you're seeing is pretty right. As we see Nevis with the MP7. A good thing that he finds so much with his submachine gun right here. I mean, he has, let's take a look, for $3,450, and there's more to come if he uses the MP7 wisely. RCTIC have to bite into the sour apple right here and gotta deal with the situation of having P250s and a Glock, but no armor.
Yeah, no armor, it's gonna hurt. Are there any HEs on the UX? We've got 2. Brian just tossed one out, but he didn't hit anybody as all of them are racking up in the middle lane. And right there, Breg is racking up the kills. That's a quad kill for him and might have even been looking for the ace, but he leaves Yuna with still 100% HP available. Then he might be willing to pick up the rifle from the connector, but he doesn't even really want to go there because he would be putting himself in harm's way. Bomb site B, quite clean. That could be an easy bomb plant for them. And of course, there's nothing to wait for. He's just going to go for it. The additional $800 for free. No Kevlars with 4 people dying in the middle, him miraculously staying alive. That's more than he could have asked for.
Yeah, in this round, this helped him out more than necessary. A bomb plant? Okay, that is good money for the next one. We see AKs all over the place. And the op onto Jonah 69. Make some work with this as soon as possible. Let's take a look at him, because his positioning and his control. Will he be boosted? Will he play main? So many options for him.
Yeah, and the replay of all that from Breg. An amazing quad kill, although he has missed a couple of shots with the M4. After all, he is an M4A1S, so you can easily run out of ammo with it. So that might have been the thing that prevented him from getting the ace, but yeah. It's just how it sometimes happens. Breg is going to find the opening kill in round number 5, though. The AWP seems to be working quite fine, but you also have to remember that there's an op on RCTIC, and Yona has been very effective against playing Ducks.
Yeah, that effectiveness now needs to be proven once more if he can make it for his team. They're down 2 points, got themselves one secured at least, but the problematic situation starts right now as they need to come up with something in this one. They need to come up with any kind of setup where they can make it work with one player less. 60 seconds and A main or something like mid and A control definitely seems to be their target, as Jonah keeps himself up with the op, takes so much control as possible, but main seems to be his target.
Well then, still 4 on 5, still not the most comfy position that RCTIC are in, but they've got some good ideas going and they still have some grenades left, and only if they find Golden Brian that's sitting right on top of that boost. No, Yalu's not looking that way, and that's an easy double kill and the round's already over. I just can't see RCTIC actually still pulling this one off, though Tori is working in the middle. Yohan is also able to put one guy down, but Tori dies. Previously in that connector, not too sure if he got 2 or 3 kills, but still was more than that, and had he pulled it off again, there definitely would be a chance, but it didn't happen. Yeah,
it didn't happen, and UX Gaming now on to the 4 in this moment of time, which pretty much brings it to RCTIC or RCTIC all the time. This goddamn team couldn't they write RCTIC properly? It's just confusing in my head. No, and we're seeing that 3-point lead. UX is getting ahead of RCTIC in this moment. They are forced to play with tech and the Eagles, and once more they're knocking on the door and waiting for UX to be so kind and let us in. But no, first denial, second denial. Max Bam gets at least one, but this is all he's coming up with, and that frag brought them a little bit of an advantage, but this is it. 2 versus 4, you only have attack, and take a look at that.
So once again, Golden Brian is going to be the one to seal the deal on them, but this time it was a little bit more obvious. 5-1 in favor of UX Gaming. These guys are getting themselves rolling, and that's something that I definitely did not expect, but it doesn't have to mean that it's going to be so one-sided all the time. Now RCTIC with yet another chance, and now if they don't manage to pull it off, it's going to get real nasty. So this is the round definitely that we have to pay a lot of attention to.
The lead is just getting expanded and expanded as once more we see Golden getting 2 insane frags as the players are coming out of the smoke. Does he get a ferret? Yes, he does. Is he going for any more? Nope. Denial comes in from Jonah and Jello as well. They're bringing it back in a possible situation, but one of the Finns is also down to 10 HP. The bomb is pretty much set there in the corner, and now 10 versus nearly 300 HP. Jonah could go for it, but they're all too close. And Nikki, he secures the 6th one. RCTIC needs to step up as soon as possible. They need to find a way back into this. Otherwise, it could be over before it just started.
Oh, come on. That's definitely not something that we want to see right here. But RCTIC are not out of money yet. They're not out of ideas yet, apparently. So maybe one of them will actually work out. That's surely what I'm counting on. Would be real sad to see them go down without a fight here in the losers match when they'd done not so bad against Playing Ducks, right? Because it wasn't just such a one-sided map right there on Inferno. It's actually quite cool to watch, and until the very last moment, I believe that Arctic can still grab some more rounds.
Yeah, it looked very possible. And I mean, UX also did a really, really good job against Pucksters, though they're not that organized team. And as you mentioned, it might cause some confusion when you play against a team that doesn't have a 100% fully structured system. But once more, we see Bragg finds one with that op. Satis gets taken down, and it's not an eco, it's not a force by Arctic is on. Everyone has AK, the utility is existent, and they're still having a problem right here. They're still not getting anything done, and they only have 50 more seconds to play with, so it's time to do something.
Yeah, not anything done is definitely the right way to put it. They didn't even deal a single point of damage to the enemies until that point. Tori, he seems to always be doing fine. That max spam guy, always getting the kills even in the hardest of situations. But when it ends with 1 kill, it still doesn't help too much. Yona and Saga, the 2 remaining people up against 4 of UX Gaming, and Saga is getting through. He was looking at that car area, but it didn't help at all because Neves was actually hidden for just 1-2 seconds, and it was enough to already make the enemy forget about him and shoot him down from behind. 7-1 is the scoreline that we get to see right now, and Arctic are going for a pause, and it definitely is a good idea to go for it right now, though. Can they figure anything out in that brief amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They have 5 minutes right now, and this is their only break. They're going to be able to take Nikki, though. Look at the money of UX. Whatever Arctic is coming up, doesn't matter. UX will definitely rebuy. Should be even possible to, even if they lose this one, to have 2 more with a decent economy. So Arctic needs to come up with a consecutive working idea. I'm missing a little bit of that mid control where players are like, just, okay, let's take care of that. We don't want to do anything more than just find these players in middle, because you can go highway, you can go Z or connector, however you want to call it. You can go vent. You have so many options to circle around the enemies. You just have to play it right. So even some aggression there would be working out really, really well.
Yeah, so I guess you were not wrong when you said about that cash being the very strong point of German teams. And I definitely like what I'm seeing right here. But we get the match unpaused, and it's going to be one of the deciding moments, I feel like. But right now, it's going to be pistols for Arctic. So they possibly came up with some idea for the next round. And then, if that doesn't work, then we already have 9-1 in favor of UX. And from that, I don't think there's any comeback. But even better things happen in Counter-Strike history, so maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, we have to see the difference from top-level CS and this kind of level CS. Sounds a little bit harsh, maybe, but when we remember the good old Liquid choke back in Columbus, and then this, it's a major difference. It's just something that has not the same kind of value. And let's take a look how UX have already secured their first haul. After 10 rounds, they're 8-1 in the lead, and once more Arctic has a good amount of money left, but can get something out of it. This is the question.
Oh, well. Tough to really say at this exact moment. Guess that after this round we will already be able to tell the outcome if Arctic don't manage to grab it. But if they do, now we still got a fight going, and it is still 8-1. I mean, from that point on, theoretically, it can end up going 8-7, and then you don't have a clear victor out of the first half at all.
Let's see how this will go, because UX now finally have 1 player left on the board. This could be just a perfect entry that they are trying to achieve. 60 seconds, full of options, full of ideas, and full of possible executions. But first of all, the control needs to be there, and they have none. Look, they're still pretty much on their own site. Now taking a lot with that middle, and Sings is ready, does not find it, and this is Saga taking down the vent player, securing a 2-man advantage for the side of Arctic. The possibilities are just more and more getting better. But look how close Golden is. Oh, what? That is a clean rip-off. Oh, well, yeah, it sums it up. Oh, well.
It's going
How?
to be Breg also down to 10 HP, and he's pulling the trigger. I don't think it's the greatest idea than jumping into the HE. Very unfortunate. I thought that he might get another possibility of pulling the trigger with that AR, but that did not happen at all. And ouch, Yona, are you serious? That's indeed, that sums it up even better, I think.
Yeah, they are. But that money, we mentioned it. Look at that money that UX is on the board. So many things they can still do with that.
Well, Breg, he can still get another AWP, as you can clearly see. So UX are not really like falling into a slump right here. It's not like they lost all their money that they've been building up throughout that first half at all.
But what we're more likely seeing is just how this is working out for the guys from RCTIC. Look how patient they are. Look how Jonah is sending. Not too much control they're taking early on. And they're just waiting this out.
Yep, and well, hopefully that wait time is not gonna backfire on them. Sometimes a CT side likes to push a little bit aggressively. Sometimes they do it in such a smart way that it's not really easy to take them out when you're covering all the angles. The counter boost is definitely something that could be dangerous here. Anyway, though, nothing like that happens, and RCTIC are finally pushing a little bit further. But they're not going in just yet. It's just that they surfaced their heads. But it's not yet a bomb site take.
Bomb site take needs to happen in the next 30 seconds, so pressure is massively big. If the utility of UX is possible to deny it, then it could go horribly wrong. Brack realized what's up, he peeks again. That was dangerous. And now...
Oh?
Brack is playing at close range for some reason.
But not too bad of an idea from him. He's still alive. Nobody spotted him out just yet.
Oh,
but,
no.
Oh my goodness, he's gonna get that kill somehow. No, that was Sinks actually helping him out. Nevis is finding another one. Breg somehow turns around and realizes that yellow is coming in from the highway. They get the dink on Yoda. He's down to 2 HP, and the finisher comes through from Sinks. Yoda wanted to go for a smoke, probably hide in that smoke or something. Just use it somehow to protect the bomb, but it's not gonna be possible. And Breg surviving it all with 100% HP. That's something similar to that kill on Golden Brian in the previous round. That also is ridiculous.
Yeah, that... Oh god, however this once more happened, it just went perfectly fine, as we were seeing that UX and their lead just gets better and better and better. 9-2, RCTIC. If they're losing this one, then there are multiple things that just happened right now. RCTIC's loser bonus got pretty much reset, right? So they got one round. This is now that kind of play where they have to live with low loser bonus. And this could just advance more horribly than this if UX takes the control. This is the thing, right? So if they come up with anything, then this might get even worse for RCTIC. But Saga starts it up good, gets that frack on to Nevis. And now Saga wants more things. Nope, denied.
That was a tough call right there, getting blinded, but the flashbang definitely didn't help, but there was a possibility of getting an easy kill on Golden Brian, though. Nevis making a big mistake, in my opinion. The smokes disappeared, he had a smoke in his hands, and he got caught off guard completely. Now Sastis and Yona with their kills, 4-on-2 in favor of RCTIC Esports, and it might be UX Gaming that get their money bonus reset completely. So 3-on-2. Another kill comes through for the German team, and some missed shots from Yona. Finally gets it, but that's a leg shot. Wow. Finishes off Sinks. And we'll have only NKY going up against him. And I think he knew about this guy. I think he spotted out that there were 2 people in that area. That's RCTIC with the 3rd round. It's not yet over for UX by far. And overall, just securing the one single round they got previously is a lot, because even if really RCTIC get themselves going, even if they win all the remaining rounds, it at least is going to be 9-6, which is a nice scoreline. It's an okay scoreline on cash.
Yeah, but it's an okay scoreline. That's the thing. Like, do you want an okay scoreline against a team like UX? This is where you have to reconsider how you're going to do. There's not much more possible than 9-6, of course, because UX is already at that border. But I mean, RCTIC should seriously try to do something when sides are being switched. You know, they should always be considerate right now. Okay, this half, it might go 10-5, it might go 9-6. It could be even worse to 12-3. That is the worst case scenario right now for the Finns. But how will they perform as CT? This is the thing.
Yeah, that's a tough call, and yeah, there are some teams that are just one-trick ponies. They're only doing fine on the CT side. Although on Cash, if I remember, like from the most recent matches that I casted, I only saw the T side domination. So finally, maybe I'll get to see something different.
So that is the thing, right? How will RCTIC and UX Gaming perform in this one? How will how will they perform in the second half? Excuse me, totally got it mixed up. Because right now we got it set. Like, we don't even need to talk about that half. UX did a great job. They did everything right. Blah blah blah. But the question that really is important is what will happen with the side switch. Because RCTIC might get all of the rounds. It doesn't even matter. Still a 3-point advantage and really looking good. Saga getting actually so many frags right now. A double.
What?
That was looking sick. But as we're seeing right now,
bomb didn't get planted in the meantime, so I'm kind of confused. But yeah, after all, everything's fine for RCTIC. As you said, it was sick of a shot. Now they just have to close it out, but the CT is already dangerously close, though Yellow is dangerously closing them out from behind. Oh, the bomb is being defused by a KY, and they cannot take care of that. The molly doesn't reach him. The bomb is gonna be defused. What the hell? How do you miss a molly like that?
That's the first
He was down to 12 HP. Just one tick of that would have been enough.
Yeah. Oh, that must be horrible for RCTIC right now. That is that horrible kind of feel. And they're going to pull this through. Like, I mean, by right now, no use to just go for an eco or something like that. But UX there be like, okay, thank you for the 3 rounds. We're working with that. And the most confusing thing right now, why you would put Nevis into middle with that UMP, but now it makes sense. He pushes through. Oh, he gets one. As he gets the second, no, getting denied by Jallo, and Jallo with another one. Okay. Double kill he's going to achieve in this one. But the question is, 4 versus 3, a lot of time left. Look at those B players. How will they approach this?
Okay, why? Down. Sastes is going to get 1 kill, but not more than that for himself. And UX, once again, just 1 man behind, just like in the previous round. There's a possibility for them to close it all out again. Sinks running low on the ammo already without M4. And gets the kill on Saga. Come on. Just losing the bomb right there is the worst thing that could happen to RCTIC Esports. And the other guy is still somewhere out there. It's still going to be Golden Brian at some point taking care of the terrorist. If he even gets his hands on the bomb, you wanna ride around that smoke, and that's something things might not expect. But now as the smoke disappears, he knows, he is fully aware that he's got to cover this angle too, and he might get a little bit of damage, but doesn't win the fight.
And there, Golden, he finished it off, gets them the 11-3, and the scoreline gets more and more problematic for RCTIC. As you've mentioned, 9-6 is an okay scoreline, but that is not happening because RCTIC, losing the bomb there in the middle was not really advantageous, but that happens, right? But the 3K that was possible afterwards by Sinks was just way, way, way too much. And this is how you can get further and further. UX on the 11, and their comfortable halftime lead should bring them to a comfortable victory in this best-of-1 series. Not much more they need to do than to get some good, fast executions on the terrorist side coming up next.
So we're talking about how RCTIC are very proficient in these best-of-1s, and there's a huge possibility of them surprising. And this far, we're just completely not seeing that. They lost the first one. They are about to lose the second. They might be out of the group without doing anything. That would be a shame. So hopefully they'll start picking themselves up right here, right now. Just win another round and win the pistol, make it 7-11, and still have a chance.
There we go. Frags are happening left, right, and center, and putting it back into 4 versus 4. And Nevis goes for that grenade. Does he hit something really? Yeah, Jello runs to 71. I mean, it's a good start, but the opposite there. And that was not the smartest pick here from Nevis. Puts his team just in a man disadvantage situation, and 6 HP onto Golden. I mean, Yeah, there we go. That is the UMP finishing off the low HP player, putting it into a 4 versus 2. Oh, and Sings. The flames are raining in. Now he needs to do some work. He does. Body shots with the USPS. Realize there's also one standing main. Hey, just do a comfortable reload.
Way.
Not again.
The fuse. Oh.
Not like this.
RCTIC, come on! So many times they had good shots at winning the rounds, but they're never really able to pull it off. That's 12-3 in favor of UX Gaming after the first half. The guys are completely dominant, and are we seeing another Isuba kind of story?
Yeah, that would be great, that Isuba story.
On the other hand, though, I don't think anybody else will allow them to play this cash. I mean, like in Group A, we saw many trains, which already was a mistake. I don't know why people played against Hop on trains so many times.
Yeah, that train story. I hope it does never repeat again. If that train story repeats, I don't know what to say. But anyway, we've seen. Maybe this. You're right. Maybe playing Ducks won't be the guys who actually take it home. It will be that Hop story, but. To get back into round number 16, the second one. And whoever is getting out of this tournament as a loser will be determined right here. Because what you don't want right now is getting UX a pistol round. Like giving them the present of a pistol. Oh, Sings a beautiful flick right now onto Saga. And this is exactly how you want to do it. This is exactly how you take down your Finnish opponent. Jello tries and gets taken down. USPS shots so far away.
So many shots, like he was flicking at the guy, but every single time he was making a step away from his crosshair, and yeah, that never worked. Sasta is actually getting into a very exposed position to just make it easier for the Thirst to get that kill on him. Possibly making it easier for our UX to end the misery of RCTIC Esports here.
Yeah, and that misery might be done by this because they force through. It's understandable, of course, but it is frustrating if you're a fan of that Finnish team. I mean, we once had that classic meme with ENCE. Unfortunately, RCTIC doesn't have that easy for ENCE, mean Finnish esports organization, but this is easy for UX, and this is showing us how strong those German guys can actually be. Isuba 2.0 pretty much. That could be this repetition of a beautiful, beautiful story.
And just remember where Isuba got their best scoreline, the 16-3 against Hop in the finals of the group. That was cash.
Yeah, that is the thing. But maybe the fable, maybe the fairy tale could just be a German one this time. Maybe this will be a German fairy tale, not the Czechoslovakian, as they're playing it so patiently. It's really interesting to see that they're not going for any rush to their enemies, the opponents. The only thing they can come up with is just pistols and nothing else. Just some 5.7s. One of them doesn't even have armor, and now it is going to be that B-side focus. They're coming in through vent. Oh, and that needs to be just fixed as soon as possible. Oh, Jello with one. Jello with a second. That is
wow.
Good damage he's dealing. And Brack is also low in HP, so that could get out of hand easily.
Could, but doesn't have to. And UX are taking care of that smoke, are taking care of the bomb plants. So they will let nobody through. They can hear the shots all over the place. Nevis is going to find a kill. That's the equalizer. But the CTs know that there is one man missing on the bomb side. But they're not getting any closer to it. They actually fell back, thinking that Nevis might be coming in from behind from the connector. Not happening. Nevis is going to close it out with a quad kill. Even he sweeps the floor with them. They thought he's going to be backstabbing them. Yet he comes in from the front and just does what he wants.
Yeah, and the German janitors are here. They're here to clean it up. RCTIC, can you please put yourself from the floor? Because that 11-point difference we're seeing here from UX shows that not only tactical finesse brings in decimation, also just a pure skill that those Germans are showing right now. Not putting up a great fight there against Puxers was quite alright, 60-12. Not too bad, but maybe this is the way they can get back from this. Maybe this is the way we can see how good they actually are. Because there comes already that once more it's a force. If I see, yeah, RCTIC once more forcing through. $0 are on two of the players, 50 on the other two. The next round, I mean, this round is already pretty much deciding the game, right? There's not many options you have at this point of time.
Yeah, there's a huge chance of that happening. But then you can still go back to the previous match where Pugstars were able to win with Deagle straight and not many Kevlars even out there. So maybe RCTIC are gonna do that and hope that it's gonna work out the same.
Now the plans are getting in. And only 2 more. I mean, Max Spam and Jonah, they're trying their best, but their options are pretty much near to 0. Let's take a look at Jonah. Finds, seems like he's going to find nothing out of this one. Not the second, unfortunately. So that means 15-3. UX. No hostages. Run through, kill everyone, and make it possible to get out of this game as soon as possible.
Yep, that's exactly what they're trying to do right here, and 15-3 being the score right now seems real scary to all the other teams. I don't know if we can actually say that, but definitely on Cash, I don't think anybody will want to test them anymore. So Cash is a must ban against UX Gaming, and then I'm not sure if that's going to disable them completely, but maybe they will be able to do something still in this group. But right now, RCTIC are doing not so bad. They're picking up some UMPs, but unluckily enough for them, they don't find a rifle. All that they're picking up are SMGs, while still being up against a Galil and an AK-47. And Nevis getting the first kill, then he goes down, but the AK 1v2, 1v1 now. The other guy is right on the other side of the map.
Wait, what is
so
Jello
far away
doing?
from there. And yeah, he's a little bit AFK. But maybe he comes back at the right moment. He twitched his mouse a little bit, I feel like, but wow. No, Golden Brian doesn't even see him. I'm quite sure everybody hears it and says it on TeamSpeak. Come on. When he comes back, he's got a chance of taking it.
Is he AFK or is he like timed out?
I think he's timed out rather.
Yeah, there.
Doesn't matter though.
Oh, okay. Something seems to be not working with his anti-cheat client. But anyway, we're out of this and we're back at our great 16-3 German guys. Well. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate for the hope from Finland that we saw actually performing quite okay in the first one against Playing Ducks. I mean, we both said they're one of the favorites, right? We're saying that they're one of those guys you got to really take a look out for, and suddenly fully down the drain.
Alrighty then. That's gonna be the outcome for the match that I expected RCTIC to take. I guess that's not happening, and UX looking real sweet in this group for now. Wondering if they can achieve even more, and I'll definitely, after seeing this kind of a match, I would say I will be rooting for them, but not too sure about that since, I mean, there's so much they still have to do. After all, it's just a match against RCTIC. They were able to play on Cash, and I'm not too sure if they're going to get that Cash again anymore.
Yeah, maybe that is a repetition of the story. And now that is a repetition for the story like we had yesterday. Let's take a look at some replays right now.
Yep, so that Breg spray down in the middle. Not able to get the ace, unfortunately, for himself, but it looked amazing, definitely. However, Yona right after that, he actually got a bomb plant, which is even more interesting than the kills.
Oh, yeah, that
alone.
was a clean ripoff. That had been taken down. There was Jalu, who's getting in that problematic situation because look, there was the op. There he finds it with Frag, and then he needed to do this. But yeah, there we had it. That was the denial of double digits not
and the
happening.
missed molly.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sad. Actually, that's so sad.
Oh well. A lot of rip-offs definitely happening in the first half of the map, but then it was all about UX just closing it all out in the AFK Yalu. Possibly just the anti-cheat realizing something was bugged out in the last round of the map, which is weird.
That's the most hilarious thing, like how he just goes around it and just passes him, realize, okay, planned easily. And you're right, probably everyone in TeamSpeak like, dude, come back. What is happening? But I think it was a PC crash or something. That's how it seemed to be. Anyway, 16-3. That was already lost pretty much yet. And that is how it goes. Playing Ducks versus Pucksters will start very, very soon. Don't worry. Don't run away. That could be one interesting match because we don't know who will directly advance to the final.
Okay, so we're gonna find out if Playing Ducks and Puckstars are actually ready to continue with our match, because as you know, we had to swap the matches a little bit right there, possibly having a tiny bit of a problem with scheduling for one of the teams, but hopefully they will have figured it out by now and we can continue. As I definitely will want to see that match very badly. Puckstars, these guys have surprised a lot, beating UX. Now we can see UX completely stomping RCTIC into the ground, so maybe there's a possibility to actually beat Playing Ducks too for the European mix.
Yeah, and maybe we'll also see some big revenge from the Germans, if Pucksters is losing, of course. That will be, then they'll directly see us, and we're going to find out very soon. We're going to find out. I see the Lithuanians, I mean, the job, we've seen RCTIC, right? They are not really a strong opponent in the entire series so far. And they got shut down right now. They're out of the tournament. They're out of this entire thing. And now it is going to be interesting. Now it's going to be super exciting, more likely to say, how it will be with Playing Ducks, because their first enemy, that was an easy snack, but Puckstars, I think they have a lot of things to bring up right now.
For sure. So right now we do know that we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for this matchup. Playing Ducks versus Puckstars will be happening in about 10 minutes, so I guess we're grabbing a break.
So see you soon.